Very good. Let's go. Do you know this is the first time I'm live on YouTube? It's my very first YouTube live. Let's go. Beautiful. Excited for it. Let me put a post out. We're live. Come up. Come chat about crypto business and marketing. Will be bringing a few people up. Let's go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. I'm excited for it. We got so far. Crypto 10A is already live with us. We got Gone. We got Money Dad. How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me. It's been a while. I haven't done one of these live streams. Drop me any questions, any challenge that you're currently facing with business, with marketing. We're going to be having one of these casual chats. And what I have right now with me, the classic Alpha, is actually the hot water. This is actually something that I learned from my voice coach. He recommended whenever I am to do long sessions of filming, one of the things you want is you want your throat to be open at all time. You want to make sure that the voice has as little friction to go from your chest all the way to the outside. And a simple way to relax your throat is actually by having hot water. So the first thing I did before we went live, myself and Kaito, who's behind the scenes with me as well, helping DJ the whole thing, I went to grab some hot water. Let's go. So we got Crypto 10A asking, did I butcher that name? 10A, Crypto 10A. I'll just go for that. Nice penguin, by the way. A founder who doesn't have a funding or project yet, but has to make big. What should he or she be doing in terms of targeting? Okay, let me repeat that question. A founder who doesn't have funding or a project yet wants to make it big. What should they be doing? So it's a difference if you have no project or no funding. These are two completely different states to be in. But here's what I'll say. The first thing I would start by doing is by identifying what is the minimum viable thing that you can sell. I've been in the game of business for a while now, and most of my life was not as perhaps successful as it would appear today. But the very first time that I started in business was in 2017. And I remember back then, what I would do is I would build out Instagram pages. Back then, I was studying engineering. So if you guys have been following me, you probably know this ring that I have on my finger. This is the ring that you get when you graduate from engineering school. So I studied engineering for a good five and a half years. And one of the things that I started doing is I started documenting the learnings that I would have and I would post about them. And what I ended up doing is I ended up building one of the biggest Instagram pages in the world about engineering and technology. Today it has over 1 million followers. And bro, I think like over 600 million views, like crazy numbers. But something was off. When I tried to monetize the page, it never worked. I remember the biggest wake up call that I had is I traveled to Toronto to put this order of these booklets. Think of them like little agendas that you would get. Like this is just a book that I have, but imagine like little agenda books that had the logo of my business right here, and these were productivity notebooks. I flew all the way to Toronto to place an order of 2,000 books. I received them, and I think I was only able to sell two, 300 of them because I realized that I had built an audience around just entertainment and I hadn't built any meaningful audience. So I started by building the audience and then I tried to figure out what to sell to them. The way I changed it starting on Fungible is I started with the end goal in mind. I was like, okay, I need to have a business. What do I start by selling? What is a minimum viable thing that I can start selling? And in the early days of Unfungible, by the way, it was just consulting sessions with Leon and Kermit about how to build a community. Because that is the thing we knew back then. That was the only thing that we knew how to do. That was the thing we had experience in. So we started by giving consulting calls about building communities to crypto founders. And that was the minimum viable thing. I think where people go wrong is they spend too much time brainstorming. Oh, I have this new unique idea. I have this cool thing that no one else is doing. If there's one thing that I learned, it's that if no one's doing it, then that's actually not a good thing. It means that a lot have tried, but there's no real market for it. So first thing I would do is I would start figuring out what is it you want to sell, and then from there starting to build an audience on top of that. So let's see some of going to pull you. Yeah, yeah. Kaito, by the way, tell me. Oh, there we go. So with X, what do you think of existing NFT projects, and what would you do differently if you were an NFT founder? You know, I never like to be the theorist on the side that is telling founders what they would do. You know, you see all these keyboard warriors that are like, if I was in your shoes, I would have said this instead of doing that. And a lot of times these people, they don't have the context that the founders do. And the only reason I know this is because I'm in a position with an agency and people are like giving me tips all the time on how I should run my company better, but they're not running a company themselves. Uh, but what do I think of existing NFT projects? I think it's a very difficult industry. It's a very difficult industry to be building in. The total addressable market, the TAM, is very small. In the NFT space, it is only the same couple thousand people that are exchanging hands when it comes to the product. I'm selling my NFT to that guy, and that guy is selling it to that guy, and then he's selling it to that guy, and eventually he's going to come back to me. It's the same circle of people. And I think this is the biggest challenge in crypto right now, especially in NFTs, which is a subsection of the crypto market. We have a very small total addressable market. Where I would spend a lot of my time looking at if I had an NFT collection or if I just was a Web3 project is I would start to think, how do I build a base in crypto? And then how do I build products or services that have a more mass appeal? And when I say mass appeal, it doesn't mean going like and selling products to everyone, but it means going one step above that. I love how Azuki did it. For example, they went from Web3 anime to now they're building for anime, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry in and of itself. And that is how I think projects in general should be pursuing this. Some alpha for you guys. A lot of the projects that we're speaking with behind the scenes, a lot of them have started asking us a lot more like, hey guys, do you offer TikTok marketing? Do you do Instagram marketing? Can you guys help us break out of crypto Twitter? So a lot more companies are starting to spend money outside of CT. The reality is most of these projects don't have a product ready for mass market. But it is reassuring to see that there are projects investing money. All you need is one breakout product for you to have a blueprint that others can follow. I gotta mention, let's go. So we got Money Dad on here. We got Emmy. Let's go. WizX. Very good question, by the way. Marv, Prosper. Is it worth starting a Web3 agency? I definitely think so. An agency. So let me say this very simply. The branding of an agency is nothing but uh, a, a person who has a skill set that happens to have more team members with them. That is what an agency is. The ghostwriter that is a one person business that is doing ghostwriting on Fiverr or is doing ghostwriting for their clients on Twitter, they are an agency. They just happen to be a one person agency. So, a better way to reframe that question is it worth monetizing a skill set that I possess? And in my opinion, this is the best and easiest way to get into the game of money. The thing about entrepreneurship is you want to be in the game. You want to be in the game. You want to be, uh, you want to collect the feedback that comes with playing the game. It's like you try to do this thing and then it doesn't work, you get killed. Okay, how do I do it again? That's what you want to be doing. And the worst thing that can happen to you in entrepreneurship is to get kicked out of the game. So I think absolutely starting to monetizing your skill and then growing from there is 100% a path that I would recommend. Unfungible was started by me and Kermit just doing one-on-one consulting calls with founders. Our very first product was 3.6K. And what a founder would get is they would get a full go-to-market strategy for community building, plus 6 sessions, one-on-one 6 sessions, plus weekly access to a group Q&A session because we were selling multiple founders this. And that's what we sold, man. People saw value in it, they bought into it, and that then allowed us to evolve, improve our game, improve our process, and unlock new products later down the line. Mirhab, streamer arc, let's go. I'm just trying to get to your level, man. We got Royero. Thank you, Kaito, for pinging this up. GM, best way for marketing a CTO project that only need people to understand distribution and scarcity. So, best way for marketing a CTO project that only need people to understand and distribution and scarcity. It's a bit of a broken question. What I will assume when it's a CTO project, it means that there's no budget, no treasury. That is my assumption. By the way, let me move to the center right here for us. This is better. Here we go. What I will assume by using the keyword CTO means that there is no treasury behind it. So the only solution to this is the founder funnel. Attention is the lifeblood of every business. If you run out of attention, it's like your heart stopping to beat. You're dead. Especially in crypto, which by the way is a very attention and narrative driven industry. Who can have the loudest and most consistent presence on the timeline? This is crypto marketing in one sentence. Who can have the loudest and more consistent appearance on the timeline? And if you can't pay because you're a CTO project, you have to find a way to do that. And that will be through the founder and the team account. But it all starts with the founder at the very beginning. We got Gandhi G. Gandhi, I've been seeing you commenting on all my reels, all my videos on YouTube. Huge shout out to you. I appreciate the support. Thank you for this. I'm very curious, guys. Are you guys mainly watching on X or on YouTube? I will assume mostly are coming from X, but I think Gandhi, you're on YouTube. Wow, couple great questions here. It's crazy. Let's try to go through them a little bit faster. Anything that stood out for you, Kaito? While you pull this one up, I'm just going to turn on the AC for us. By the way, guys, yes, yeah, they can't hear you. I know. I'm talking to Kaito, by the way, guys. I'm not talking about myself. Guys, by the way, whoever wants to come up, we actually have are gonna have some segments. If you want to come up, just let us know in the comment section. You can come up, ask your question directly, give us any additional context. Just let us know in the comment. And Kaito, you're going to be receiving a message from Kaito, the original Kaito, not Kaito the platform. Kaito Ayo is going to be DMing you with a private link to come up on Evmux. No wild connection. Just make sure you input your seed phrase and all 20 characters. All right. So, if a project is very technical, what is the best way to educate followers? Any thoughts about using Zeely quizzes questions to achieve this? Very good question. Super great question, skippers. And I'm mainly going to focus on the first part of it, which is if a project is very technical, what is the best way to educate followers? The rule of marketing 101 is that you never want to confuse people through your marketing. If your marketing confuses people, they are going to leave as soon as they saw you. People do not exert brain power when they are scrolling social media. The goal of a good marketing message is one that resonates with them while using as little brain power as possible. So you tell me you have a very technical project. Is your target audience a technical audience or is it normie territory? If you have a technical audience that will understand technical lingo, then there is a strategy in using that technical lingo that they already understand to speak to them. For example, let's say I studied engineering. Let's say I wanted to start uh, an HVAC engineering business, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. That's what HVAC stands for. It's just the AC that you have in your home. The keywords that I would use are going to be keywords that my target audience understands if I'm selling to engineers. It's like, we help improve your HVAC system in your duplex home. But let's say I was selling this to the average family home here in Dubai, I wouldn't use the word HVAC. So I would start by asking, are you selling to a technical audience or to a normie audience? If it's a normie audience, then how do I distill down the complexity of our project into terms that people will understand? And a simple way to frame this is, what is the ultimate transformation that your target audience is going to live through? What is the final state of your customer after using your product? If you look at our slogan at Unfungible, we help projects dominate their niche using organic marketing strategies. Nothing complex, very simple. Whoever you are going to understand this messaging. Skippers, hope this was helpful. We got Syed. Quick one. What is the practical way for a team with no connection in the space but with a product ready? NFT, this is a great question. NFT, art done, dedicated team. How do you cold start without existing network? See, this is a very good question. And the question that Syed is asking is, he has a product ready, but he has no network. And it seems like Syed has been watching the content. Having a network that you can tap into is one of the easiest ways to overcome the cold start problem. Let's say any of you here are starting an agency or launching a product. The simplest way to launch it is to send a DM to all the friends you've made along the way and letting them know, hey, by the way, I just launched this. And just the fact of letting them know will earn you more eyeballs and awareness than you would have paying influencers. So, Syed, what I will say to you, because I've seen you on the timeline, you have a presence, you have a brand for yourself. You have a network. You have a network that you are currently standing on top of. All you need to do now is to go and excavate it. You're standing on top of a patch of soil that has gold nuggets under it. And then you're sitting here and you don't see anything around you. And you're like, where's my network? You have your network, but it's sitting under your feet. As part of what you do on a day to day, you are engaging with people, you're commenting, you're replying. I'm sure there's a group of 25 people that are the most active supporters of your content. These are connections of yours. The only thing that hasn't been done yet is you breaking the traveling the bridge from someone that you know on the timeline to someone that you know privately. And that's what I would start doing today. And I would start laying these eggs before needing them. So I would plant the seeds before needing the fruits from them. So I would start sending a round of messages today to all the people that are in your network and just telling them, hey, by the way, I've been seeing you liking my posts. Just appreciate you, man. Like, just appreciate you. People are gonna love it. And if they don't answer, great, but they've seen you up there. And that's it. Just leave it at that. And this allows you then to further expand the conversation. Does that make sense yet? All you need to do now is just activate your network. It's already sitting under you. A more advanced strategy is to start using tools like a CRM, customer relationship manager, where you're like tracking the different people that you have in your network. That is very advanced stuff. But I know people who operate like this. Like that's how advanced it can become. Any let's scroll through some of the questions because man, this chat is freaking active. Let's go. We got Mr. Fox in the house. We got Spiral Eye, Crabman, Goon gone again, Gandhi. You guys are active. I love it. This is amazing. All right, cool. Let's see one that stood out for us. The cap is off. The cap is off. Let's put it back on. Here we go. The universe is back in alignment. Yeah, let's go for the important ones. Let me, Mr. Fox. Why do all the Pudgy Penguin parties succeed while other Web3? Oh, why did Pudgy Party succeed while other Web3 games more the better died out? Very good question. Very good question. We need to define success. So Pudgy Party took over the timeline because a lot of people posted about it because it's Pudgy, you Pudgy, everyone's supporting Pudgy and it's great and we want Pudgy to win. And that's why everyone was posting about it. Uh, but success will only be determined after the fact of can this game survive on its own without the support from the community. The reason why Pudgy Party was all over the timeline was because they have built a community. And this right here is something that I often talk about, which is community arbitrage. The when you have a community of people around you, you can start overcoming the cold start problem just like that because you already have a community. You the ground that you're starting with already has trampolines. So anything you ship is gonna have that fly effect. And the better things you ship, the better the trampolines become. But then what ends up happening if teams are shipping shitty products, it's almost like over time the trampolines are gonna lose spring. So at some point you're gonna jump on something that doesn't even exist anymore. That's how I want you to think of a community. It supports you, and the more you work on it, the more you prove it to it that you are worthy of their attention and time, it gets stronger. And I think Pudgy is at the epitome of what a strong community in crypto looks like. Let's see. Is it bad for a prediction market to host predict to win competition as a marketing strategy? Ooh, that's not a question I have context on. Uh, if you had 10 minutes to speak at a huge conference in front of the masses, what would you focus on and say to attract them? So here's how I'm thinking about this question. I'm speaking in front of a big audience, and I have only 10 minutes to drive people to take action. I have 10 minutes to drive people to take action, with action being either selling them a product where they go on my website, they buy on stage, or they change a behavior. So I'm trying to sell them on a change, behavior change. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. What I would do, how I would think about it, and this is by the way like great for everyone thinking about everyone listening to understand like mass market persuasion. What I would do, and you see the best politicians, the best influencers, they do this, is that they create immense amounts of urgency for people. I'm sure you guys have seen the headlines on YouTube. Only 2 years left to make generational wealth. Only 2 years left. And after this, AI is going to take your jobs and it's going to replace everything. Only 2 years left to make the most out of the gold rush. So I would use something along these lines, depending on what is it that I'm talking about. And I would drive people to action because the door of opportunity is closing. And that is what I've been trying to do with the founder funnel. We're seeing people disrupt old industries just because it's a founder led brand. Think of Prime Energy by Logan Paul. Think of Feastables by Mr. Beast. Man, I go to the supermarket and I see a huge pile of Feastables right there in front of me. And then I see Kit Kat, Mars, Oreo, like in a little section right here. Like Feastable is taking over market share from the big companies, the big chocolate companies. Why? Founder led brand. And that's what I would create urgency for people about. Because eventually you either build with this trend or you get replaced by someone who will be better at you with this strategy. Mm. So a related question. Do you think you are owner of a Web3 agency, you should go to Token 2049, even if it's very far? Meepo, great question. I would say the answer no. I personally think the answer is no, which is a big reason why with Unfungible, with myself, in real life conferences have never been a strategy of mine. Never been. We've never invested money in really in events. I've never flown my team, although a lot of teams I know fly their whole team there. It's never been one of my strategies. And the reason why is because I think as an agency, you should master communication channels that are one to many. How do I master communication channels that are one to many, which AKA means social media? And what happens, and this is something that I learned from the wise and powerful Alex Hermosi, what you do once you find something that works is you double down on it and you do just that. Because there's probably a lot more that you can do on the thing that you're currently doing than you think you are. Okay, that was a mouthful. But there's a lot more that you could be doing. So with Unfungible, we got very good at acquiring customers using the internet. Why should I go and try to unlock conferences as a new channel? And I know it's going to cost us, I don't know, 10, 15, $20,000 to get a booth, to fly my team, to get the hotels, to cover expenses. 10, $20,000. That's like my video team for a couple months. It's yeah. So that's what I do. But great question, Mipo. Any books on storytelling or narratives? Yes, I have one very good book. Kaito, can we share our screen? Can I share my screen? The Art of the Tale. Um, so I'm going to share with you guys something that has completely revolutionized. So this one resource has completely revolutionized. Is the screen big enough? It's okay. You guys can see. This book right here has completely revolutionized not only how I storytell, but how I create content. The It was in 2023. I remember like it was yesterday. I was in Brazil. I was traveling in Brazil, and the whole year I was trying to crack X as a marketing channel. I was trying to post, nothing was working. I was trying to do these, these 20 threads. It's like, here are 20 ways crypto is going to change the world, and it's like a thread. I tried to do all types of content. Nothing was working. And then I remember I read this one book. It's called The Art of the Tale, and the has the story journey. Story journey. Okay, the hero journey. I don't know. It's a very niche book. There we go. It has the hero journey inside of it, which is the exact formula that every Hollywood movie follows, and it starts with in simple terms. I don't want you to read it; it's very small, but it starts with a hero who faces a problem, who encounters a guide, who calls them to action and gives them a plan that then results in success or the avoidance of failure. Think of all your favorite Disney movies. Think of all your movies that you've been watching, the series that you binge. They all follow the same story structure. So I read this, and this got me to start finding better ways to storytell on the timeline. Because obviously, like when you have a 3 hour movie, it's easy to draw the whole thing. But how do you do this in one post? So I started to experiment. And I remember one day, it's like this, I still remember that day like it was yesterday because it was the first proof that shit, something works. I was at the gym. I left the gym, and before taking my Uber, I made a post. It was a storytelling driven post, which was just describing something that I had just learned. It was like, oh, today uh, I sat down in a coffee shop and then I had a conversation with the man on my left, and it actually revealed something that I'd never thought about. So it was a post along these length, along these, along that point. I took the Uber. 15 minutes later, I arrived home. I opened my phone, and this post had like 10,000 impressions, which, by the way, for a small account is was crazy. Like I remember back then, I was like, "Whoa, that is insane." So I saw this, and this was proof. Like, okay, I'm onto something. And since then, I've been trying to find ways to integrate storytelling. Storytelling is the Trojan horse of your ideas. Ideas travel through stories. They don't travel through facts. They don't travel through sayings or slogans. They're stories. Think of the oldest stories in the world, religion. They got carried through millennials because the facts might change, but the story remains the same. Let's see. Chief of Autism, you're welcome. Mooney Leon, let's go, Mr. Mooney. I appreciate you, man. Cheers. Thank you. I think not too clear your question before answering the next one. My fish is finally on screen, GG. How do we get to play my guide in a movie? The book is called Building a Story Brand. Yes, that book is called Building a Story Brand. Exactly. We're the same projects. Hi, Thumb. Yes, this is being recorded. All right, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Needed this. I needed this little break. X Pharma is asking, I'm into marketing and content creation in Web3. I'm also an NFT maxi, but here's my question. I've been rejected multiple times for a job. I was very disqualified of because of my region, my location. Um, okay, okay, I get you. I get you, man. I feel you. It's I don't know where you're from, but discrimination is something that exists. It just exists. Every single person, and like this is like no one's gonna say this out loud, but any single person that is not white carries some form of prejudice. If you are brown, Arab, black, Asian, no matter what, there is some form of discrimination that exists. And I know, man, it's unfair, and it's like, bro, we need to change this. It's like, no, the only thing you can change is yourself, bro. You didn't get that job because of your region. Fuck them, man. Become so good that your region becomes irrelevant. That is the goal. Become so good that where you're from, what language you speak, what dialect, whether you have a beard or not, whether you have a turban or not, doesn't matter, man. That is the mindset I want you to think about. Is it true that maybe, I don't know, man, from your PFP you look like a darker person? Yeah, maybe you didn't get hired because you're black, and maybe people wanted to pay you less because of that. Who cares, man? You create your worth. You become the person that becomes irreplaceable. And that is the mindset that I want you to think about, because that is the only mindset that will serve you. Everything else will not serve you. Everything else. And I share this as someone who empathizes with you. I'm not sitting here, man, like I remember this was very funny. I had one post do very well on in normie territory. So it was a post about crypto, but it was I was educating around crypto, but it was published on Instagram. And I remember someone commented, I found that comment very funny. I was like, I'm glad to see that the Talibans have left their old profession to pursue better endeavors. And I was like, fair point, man. I'm not making myself I'm not helping the cause as well with my beard. But that's the reality, bro. Like I'm sure people watch my content and they're like, oh, Arab. Like, it's okay, bro. Fuck them. Can you pin that one, please? And by the way, Kaito is reading out loud the questions for us. By the way, guys, if anyone here wants to come up, ask your question right here on stage, just type it in the chat. We'll make sure a Kaito will be sending you a DM inviting you to it. So, what is the hardest part about selling founders to new content formats for Unfungible? It's a great question. And the biggest one is that you need to educate people. There are a couple tiers of buyers in every industry. There are people that are problem unaware and solution unaware. These are people, that is the person, for example, that is walking around that has a cancer growing in their body, but they don't know, they don't feel it. They're problem unaware and they're solution unaware. Then you have problem aware, solution unaware. They know they have a problem, but they don't know where to find the solution. They don't know a solution even exists. Then you have the top tier of prospects that are problem aware and solution aware. These people, all you need to do is you need to show them what you got, and they have to decide if what you have out of all the options they have are the best. Usually, problem aware and solution aware people are the best clients to work with because they are sold on the solution and they buy the fastest and the most. The problem with content is a lot of these founders are not problem aware and sometimes not even solution aware. Most founders, believe it or not, don't even think that they need founder led marketing. Like, they don't wake up and think, oh, today I need to find a way to get my voice out and to build a community around me and to position myself as a. People don't think of this. So imagine trying to convince people, like, okay, man, everything you were taught for the last 30 years, now we're going to do a new thing. So you have to re educate people on why they need a new solution. And oftentimes people are not very open to new solutions. Now, here's the interesting part. Here's a caveat to it. Positioning something as new also has a tendency of selling more because there is a segment of people that is always searching for new. Think of Steve Jobs, God bless him. He had, I believe, cancer, and instead of getting chemo, he went to herbal medicine. He was looking for the new thing. And although that's a exaggerated example, think of the keto diet, think of the carnivore diet, think of fasting, think of weight loss pills. It's like all these people that look at themselves like, bro, I'm not losing weight with exercise. But you know what will help me? Keto. So people are always searching for the new thing. And I would say this is where knowing how to sell your new thing, if you have the ability to unlock it, you all of a sudden create a category for yourself. And this is something we've spoken about quite a lot, which is the law of the category. So Atkins created the Atkins diet. For whoever's in, like, if you guys know Atkins diet, is just like they have it's a protein bar diet. It's a protein bar based diet. It was very big in Canada. And they started this thing called the Atkins diet. And now they are if you want to do the Atkins diet, you buy the Atkins products. So that's how I think about it. I know that was a big one. I hope this was good, guys. Is this too much for a Thursday evening? Are you guys with me? Drop me some thumbs up emojis. Are you guys enjoying this? Let's go. Yeah, man, the Leon, the man, that stream flow. Let's go. I love it. Ansberg. How do you tackle? Yeah, sorry, Kaito, go ahead. Hmm. Let's go. What a good question. What a good question. Adon is great freaking question, man. What do I think of face PFPs in crypto? So funny story. When I started off in crypto, I had a face PFP. It's the same one that I have on Instagram. I had hair back then, guys. Can you believe it? Uh, and I was finding it hard to infiltrate crypto Twitter. I wasn't getting the recognition that I wanted. So what I did is I got an Azuki. I bought the tub, by the way, guys. I bought the tub of Azuki, and I'm still a community member until today, till we die. And the moment I changed my PFP, it became a lot easier for me to. I started getting followers. I was able to get into the community. It made it a lot easier. So I think that using a PFP is a good way to associate yourself with a certain community, especially if it's a community that has high perceived value. So back then, Azuki was one of it still is, it was a very highly respected community. So just rocking an Azuki gave me that boost of credibility. What I would do today, let's say I was starting again from zero, I would either stick to established, recognized PFPs, or I would go with a human PFP. I wouldn't do the middle. The middle is that weird no man's land where it's like you seem like you have a cartoon PFP that no one recognizes, that makes your account lose value, by the way, perceived value. I would just go with my face. That is the path I would take. But Adonis, in your case, man, you're already within CT. You're good to go, man. You're good to go. Now this is because we got Uncle Funk joining. Let's go. This is gonna be a good one. We got from Flow. Yes. How important is quality of production when it comes to content? Uh, a great question. I would, with most confidence, say that it comes as secondary, but secondary is still important. The two things that affect quality of content or performance of content. The first one is the delivery itself. So, how much value is in your content? how much entertainment is in your content if you're going with that route. Then the layer after this is, what is the quality packaging of that? Are you like unboxing? It's like, the iPhone. Are you unboxing an iPhone box, or are you receiving the iPhone in a plastic bag that is shipped to you? You still are getting the iPhone. It's still very valuable content, but how is it packaged? And a lot of creators try to start over optimizing for quality, thinking that quality alone will get them good content. Well, in reality, it is the opposite. And you get to the point where the incremental progress on the quality of your delivery start to become very gradual. It's like learning any skill. It starts very steep and then it almost not plateaus, but the incremental change becomes a lot smaller. That's when I would think of getting a better setup. Um, Let me quickly show you guys just to illustrate the point. Like I can sit here with my fancy 4K camera, tell you guys, yeah, no, quality doesn't matter. But I just want to show you the early videos of Leon. Here, guys, I'm going to share my screen, by the way. So, guys, I just want you to see, like, this was recorded. Look at me. Look at me. I'm here, by the way. Hello. I'm right here. I had hair, no beard. This was taken in Montreal in June 26, 2022. Uh, this was a free software that I used using my old Mac, and I pretty much did a couple dozen videos. Look, I'm still like deep into it. I was deep into it. And let me tell you guys, so here, on that video, I changed my setup. That was July 16, 2026. By that point, Unfungible had already made $10,000 in clients. Like we had already sold 3 clients. 5K, 3K, 5K. I believe that was the. And then here, I started using, guess what? Started using my phone. This is my handy. Was this my phone? I think so. Yeah, it was my handy iPhone 12. And I actually want to show you guys this at some point. They show the website. I want to show you. Who remembers Tomorrowland NFTs? July 2022. Yes, Tomorrowland had NFTs. Can you believe that? Where's the website? I just wanted to show you what the Unfungible website looked like. Can't seem to find it. But anyways, it's just start, man. Just start. The Unfungible website, I built it in here. Look, this is what it looked like. We help business owners successfully launch and market their NFT projects. Sell out your NFT project. Call to action. I would take that. Like this was the stock video. Like this was it. I put that website up in 2 hours. We got Uncle Funk with us. Here we go, Mr. Uncle Funk. Andrew.
What's cooking, good looking?
What's cooking, good looking? Mighty beard.
Yes, yeah.
Good to see you. By the way, guys, it's a quick one. Andrew, remember when I was telling you the story that I was doing the consulting calls back in the days with Kermit? It was just me and Kermit doing consulting calls. I think in November of 2022, it was November of 2022 for Black Friday. I made a crazy offer where we needed to sell. Like, fuck, it wasn't going well. So I made a crazy offer where you would get reduced package for like $500. And out of that reduced package, it was Andrew who joined us, who came in. And the guy is still freaking 3 years after, bro. Still shipping. Still building, man. Huh? Freaking love this, bro. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Good for you, man. Jeez. Yeah, I was very grateful because I wasn't a money guys. I'm an NGO guy. So I saw all your other packages, and I thought, well, all I can do is just follow this guy and watch his YouTube videos and just learn that way. And then you sent out that mailer. Remember the mailer you sent out with a special? And then I was like, and then it was every Tuesday. What was it? Every Tuesday, for a year.
Tuesday,
Where
yeah.
I got to hang out with Leon every week,
Every
and
Tuesday,
with
bro.
Kermit. Yes.
How just for people to understand just like how Unfungible looked like back then. How would you describe our product back then?
I loved it, man. It was. I came in and I knew nothing, but I built so many things that my standard practice is find an expert and just do what they tell you to. And I misunderstood the whole thing and did everything much faster than I was supposed to. But it was spectacular, man. I'd never seen that level of quality
Bro,
really in Web 2 either. The way you and Charbel dissected my business model, told me how all my ideas were terrible, rather do this. And then I did 90% of it, except for Beacon, because I didn't understand Beacon at all. I wanted to. I was just so above my IQ at that time. So the quality of the offering was spectacular. The detail, the precision, the to-do list. I'm still doing that now. It's still part of my daily discipline. Is the list that I got from you and Charbel 3 years
that's
ago.
insane. That's crazy, man. Thank you for saying this, by the way. But thank you. Like, I really appreciate it, man.
Well, I mean, think about it. 3 years later, we've minted out every single time using that playbook. We've
Yeah.
built. Where's our our ecosystem now? It's like 50 investors right now. We got huge amounts of growth. I'm not going to go into the blah blah, but that playbook. I kind of split Web3 into two kinds of people: those who do what Leon tells them to, and scammers. That's
Oh, yeah. Thank you, bro.
yeah. So I came
Cheers,
up
man.
with a question.
Shoot.
Well, besides the obvious, everybody knows how you stay that virile and sexy and manly and good looking. I mean, we watch you gymming every day, and I'm done watching you do that because if I can
Yeah,
lift 10 kgs, it's a lot. But I
there
think
you
these
go.
people are yet. So on the
What's in your
business
mind?
side of things,
Yeah.
let's go. Um, right now, I've got to phrase this nicely. So, in the quest to build community, because obviously community is liquidity. So, in the quest to build community and to build a rock solid, educated, informed community. So, we abandoned X a little bit and went to Arena Social,
Okay.
where we really picked up some good community members. That was really, really great. But we're eyeballing X a bit again now. Because it feels like there's a bit of a pendulum. Feels like the X is starting to balance out. But I still don't know. I'm not entirely sure where to put the energy lately. Is crypto Twitter? Do you think it's heading to LinkedIn? Do you think is YouTube still the gold mine for
What's
information?
your target audience?
Geez, that is the toughest. That has been the toughest question to answer, sir, because we're building a game in Web3, and
Okay.
yeah. So we've brought non-gamers into the gaming ecosystem and gamers into the Web3 ecosystem, and found that these new converts from gamers to Web3 have become the biggest hodlers. So
Okay.
so it's just Web3 itself. Where's Web3? That's the big question. Where are these people?
Bro, big question that you're asking. And here's what I'll say: crypto Twitter still has the deepest liquidity for crypto projects. It's the only place where you have the ability to raise millions and launch at a multi hundreds of $1 million market cap token just off crypto Twitter. But this is where, man, as a CEO, you need to define what the strategy of the business is going to be. I'll tell you a story. When I was getting into crypto in 2021, I remember chatting with these very successful founders today. They have a Solana game, and they were building this game all the way since back then, and they were super tapped into the whole Solana ecosystem. They ended up building a very successful game that received millions and millions and millions in funding. And today, they have tens and tens and tens of thousands of users that are paying for the game. But guess what their crypto Twitter presence is? They don't have much. They have a couple of tens of thousands followers, but they're not on CT. They're not part of the CT cabal because they geared their whole strategy to Web 2. And their biggest market for gamers is actually Brazil because that for them that is the pool of people that are willing to play crypto products, pay to play crypto products and play to earn as well crypto products. And they have a successful business. And no one in crypto even knows about them.
Hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing. When you can build a business that has mass market potential, then go there. Crypto Twitter is interesting because it gives you a foundation. It gives you a place you can come back to battle test your ideas and to bootstrap initial volume and attention. Someone was asking about Pudgy Party. Have you seen the Pudgy Penguin game that launched?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very nice game.
Mm. Yeah, it's
Engaging,
good. Good.
entertaining game.
Mm.
NFTs built into it, all that. And the whole timeline was posting about it. They probably got their first couple hundreds or thousand reviews on the App Store because of crypto Twitter. They bootstrapped the hardest part of a game, which is the first user base and the first couple hundred reviews, thanks to crypto Twitter.
Mm.
So that is how I would think of it. Crypto Twitter is more like the home base, the headquarters that you come back to. You sit with your generals, you sit with your community. And then once you tell we're going there, then they follow. But it's a strategy, man. It's a strategic play. And you're a very successful CEO yourself. You have had very big companies in Web 2. You understand strategy and you understand what the role of the CEO is when it comes to taking bets that have oftentimes uncertain outcomes.
That is actually terrifyingly spot on because our great fear is you don't want to betray CT. You feel like everything that we have, all the money that we've earned, all the contacts we've made, the grants that we've secured, the relationships we've built, the incredible community that we've had has been in CT and
Yeah.
um, Arena Social. And we feel like, okay, going after those traditional gamers, you got to go where they are, which is Facebook, TikTok, Insta, YouTube,
Absolutely.
and um, and those people don't get on too well with Web3 people,
No.
because gamers are more grumpier and entitled than Web3 people, which is surprising. You'd think that who could possibly be more grumpy and entitled than a Web3 person? Gamers, So, a crypto Meepo is saying best user acquisition by far is YouTube. Well, that's where I found Leon. So,
Yeah.
have you continued? I mean, you're still cranking out content. Have you seen continued traction on
Oh
YouTube?
yeah. Oh yeah. It's consistent growth, and continuous improvement as well
Hmm.
to it. But yeah, lately I have been seeing more traction. But yeah, man, going back to you, it is you. So you say that you feel bad for your community, but the reality of things is, feeling shouldn't be part of the equation. Those same community members that think they really support you, like they don't continue supporting you because they feel bad for you. They support you because they like you and because they have upside incentive in your success, which is very important in crypto. So for you, I think you do have a responsibility for your holders. And most importantly, your holders are here to support you. Like they are a strong support base. You have the ability, let's say you're in some form of pickle, or you need a
Mm.
connection. Let's say your Facebook ad account got banned because you were running Meta ads, and then Meta restricted your ad account, which is very common. Your community is a pool of people you can tap into that will perhaps have connections.
Yeah, I
There's a
think there's.
reason why. There's a reason why Luca Nets still puts so much time, effort, energy, and money on crypto Twitter. And believe me, it's not because he feels bad for his community.
Mm. Well, I mean, you do. I mean, we care deeply about our community. Web3 people generally come in because they want to change their lives financially. Where a gamer comes in because they want to be entertained, they want to be challenged. It's a whole different set of criteria. And I think I like the way Luca does things. I follow as much of his not just his strategy but his attitude as closely as I can, because you can actually see there that there's a concerted focus on serving that community. It's about the community's bags, which we are very serious about. In our ecosystem, we don't even have a net profit model. We've thrown that out completely. We measure our success by the success and the financial success of the community. So, um,
I'd like to paint a picture for you. There was a moment that
go for it.
was very, these moments of epiphany that you get that change your view on something. I remember I was chatting with this very big pudgy penguin holder and community member, and we were chatting. And then this was when Luca launched Pengu. I
Okay.
remember telling him, I was like, bro, I'm actually very surprised that Luca ended up launching a token. I thought that the final play was going to be the plushies. He looks at me, he's like, the final play was always the token.
Mm,
So I heard this, and all of a sudden, it all made sense. How everything that came before Walmart, Amazon, the plushies, the game, it all goes back to the token because that is
mm.
the big play. The token is the big play, not the $8 plushies.
Yeah.
And when he said this, I was like, oh, that is a viewing the chessboard on a bigger scale.
Mm.
Damn. Good chatting, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Very
Appreciate
good
you,
as
bro.
usual.
Yeah,
And
reach out anytime, brother.
yeah, you know where to find me. Loud and
Let's
proud.
go. Yeah,
Let's
man. I'm gonna
go.
start wrapping up. Let's go, man. Gonna start
Goodbye.
wrapping up. Just take a couple more questions and wrap up. Thank you, Andrew. Guys, make sure you follow Uncle Funk. Uh, he's the type of founder you want to be supporting. He has been around for 3 years, bootstrapping his project. The guy had a very successful NGO in South Africa, and he he has been building in crypto. Hasn't stopped. Hasn't given up a single day. So that's the type of founder you want to follow. Mm. Shifty Monkey, how do you tackle a client that wanted premium service but ends up saying, "Oh, but someone can do it cheaper"? Because most people want premium service but are not willing to pay premium prices. Bro, that's a great question, man. That is a great question. Funny enough, we get told this very often. Like this is the most common agency question, and that is where, man, what having a brand comes in, because it's very hard to tell Apple, I can get a Huawei for a third of the price. It's like, yeah, go, but you're not getting an iPhone, and that is where brand comes in. So there's what you do on the call, but then what I'm telling you is what do you do before the call. And the ultimate goal is you build a business where no one ever asks you if you can do better prices or that the other guy on the other next door does it better and cheaper. That's the goal of a brand. Next, when you have someone that is telling you this on the call, this is called objection handling. How do you handle that specific framework? And what you want to do is you never want to get into the territory where you're talking about price. You can never say, "Oh, what is the competition telling you about? Well, what is their price? Oh, yeah, they can charge less because they do." You never want to get into the nitty gritty of what the competition is doing. Don't enter that conversation. Instead, what you want to do is you want to ask, and again, a good way of objection handling is always by answering a question with a question. And the way I would ask is, beautiful. So you mentioned the guy next door also does it for cheaper. Any reason you haven't signed with him yet? And then they'll say, maybe they will say, "Oh, I like your service more," or they will say, "I'm still finding the best price. I'm still shopping." Then you can ask, "What do you think?" And here you start, you want to anchor value back to you. So you start asking, "What did they offer that you liked?" So, what did they offer that you liked? Then you ask, "What did they offer that you didn't necessarily like or that you think was missing?" And usually in that question, this is called a two truth question. This is taught by a very famous sales coach. Two truth question. What did you like? And then didn't you like? What they will reveal then is exactly what makes you unique. It's exactly what makes you unique. So that's how I would play it, man. The truth is, man, some clients will always try to find the best price. Like that. That is true. But the goal is, how do you, the ones who are generally after product or after quality, how do you keep them on your side? All right, guys. This was a pleasure. What a great freaking session. It's been a little bit over an hour that we are broadcasting this. We've had close to 1,000 views, man. That's crazy. That's amazing, man. I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do one more question. I currently own a Web2 marketing agency in the local business space. I'm actually moving to Dubai in October. I've been thinking of transitioning into Web3. What is that transition like? The Nick Eaton, my man, thank you for the question. I would strongly consider the jump. Like, generally, I would strongly consider the jump for two big reasons. The first one, which is a reality that I would very strongly invite you to consider. I don't know the state of your Web2 business. You might be very successful or not, doesn't matter. You are about to move into a city and you're about to move into an industry where we are closer to the bear market than we are to the bull market, to the beginning of the bull market. The smartest people I know are all saying that we are 3 to 6 months away from the top. Whether that's accurate or not, we are close to the end. And you are about to move into an industry at the beginning of the downtrend. That's how I started on Fungible, by the way. I started on Fungible in June of 2022. You know that big crash that we saw with Ethereum, it went from I think 3K to 1K. That was the month I started business. Great time. But I had no other business back then. There was nothing else that was making money. So I had to find a way to make it work. Maybe had I had a successful business in Web 2, had I, maybe I was doing e-commerce, probably I would not have lasted that long because it takes guts and grit to stick in Web3 for that long. That's the first thing I would invite you to consider. Number two, the industry itself is very different than what you're used to in Web 2. So you're probably going to have to relearn a lot of things. There's going to be a very steep learning curve. I think crypto is the future. I think this industry is only going to continue growing. And if you see a long term path of you building in that industry for the long term, then this could be potentially a good route for you. But if you're looking at making money in the short term and you have like you're going into Web3, you're starting a Web3 agency because you need money fast, uh, it's not going to happen. It's not. It's going to take a lot of time, man. And the industry today is more mature than it was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there were not as many trusted marketing agencies. Today, there's a lot. There's a lot of big agencies. So you're joining a more competitive industry at a weird timing. So it's up to you, man. This is strategy right here. Are you willing to take the risk? A lot of these agencies that I'm telling you about will slow down. They will pause. Some will go out of business. Some will retire. I definitely won't. I'm around for the next decades, but there will be new gaps in the market during the bear, but it will be slower. It's a great question. Let's go. Last question from YouTube. Do you think podcasts with founders on YouTube are a good funnel for a Web3 agency? I think they would probably get too few views. Meepo, great question. Podcasts on YouTube will most definitely get very little views, if any. So you are correct. I'm not here to tell you, oh no, bro, good content will. It'll take a lot of time to build a successful podcast, if that is the strategy. It seems like your strategy is to get clients. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Most clients will actually not mind. Most guests will actually not mind you having a small audience. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of guests would value just being on a podcast, no matter how many views you get. Even if you are, let's say, on X and you start on X, just having a podcast is deemed as a high value thing. Man, I've been on podcasts that have gotten like 7 views before. Search YouTube. I've been on podcasts that have gotten 7 views and great use of my time. I think they were great. Probably my most enjoyable podcasts. So the way I would approach it, if you want to go that direction, is because you are small, you want to be hyper personalized. So when you are to reach out to someone, reach out to them with exactly why you think you would like them on your podcast and almost lead with the questions themselves. So hey Leon, would absolutely love your marketing content on YouTube. There's actually I've been wanting to educate my audience about the founder funnel and how to use that to overcome the cold start problem. Do you want to come up and chat about this on a podcast together? So you almost want to overcome your lack of attention with a very hyper personalized approach. And honestly, man, a lot of founders will say yes. Will tier one 200K follower founders be reachable? No. But you start somewhere and then you grow from there. Hope this was helpful. Guys, uh, Gandhi G, thanks for tuning in. 6 people watching on YouTube, but then we have over 1,000 on X. Fuck, this has been great, guys. I've been enjoying this. Should we, before we wrap up, should we do more of those? Give me thumbs up in the comments. Should we do more of those, ladies and gentlemen? Man, some very good questions here, bro. Keep going, man. This is amazing. Let's go next time. Let's make this a reoccurrence. Let's do it. Let's do more of those. Let's go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great freaking Thursday. Q4 is around the corner. This is going to be the best quarter for crypto. With it comes opportunities as well to make generational money that will carry you through the bear market. Don't listen to the people that are telling you that, oh, there's no more bull and bear because of institution. There is until proven otherwise, and you don't want to hedge your bets on a theory. So please, now's the time. Go all in. Now's the time to get yourself out there. Do the things you were afraid of. Get on video. DM the clients. Do cold outreach. Sell your products. Stop being stuck overthinking, over planning, because soon you're going to find yourself over planning during a bear market. Just start. Just sell something. We had Andrew up on here. He bought our consulting services when we were doing just selling calls. Just go, man. Start your product, start your business, sell the company, do whatever. Just do it, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one, and I will see you very soon. Cheers.